The lights are green and we are away here at Mosport for round number 3. And Showtime has had a very slow start in comparison to Matty Quill, who has just pulled away nice and easy off of the line. His cars trying to settle themselves down. It looks like a driver has gone off. It looks like Bonnet is going a little bit slowly at the background. But for the most part, they settle down. Checkers has moved into P2. Showdown down to P3 as they come up towards turn number 5. Look at the lead that Matty Quill has. Checkers holds on. Showtime is stuck on the outside as Slugger on the inside of 5B. Through goes Slugger into P number 3. Turbo Snail and Jeff Snackle side by side, but Snackle holds on for P12. Some side-by-side battles in the background. This is the Hernster side-by-side there with Latufu. Latufu falls down to P16. This is another championship contender tied with Slugger in the points. He's not doing well as we saw Wyatt Way move up the inside of Profi there. A great move to the inside. Lock-ups though, drivers going slightly wide. It looks like Extra Pickles is going to hold on to Sean Sims. Sims though under attack by Meckham. Meckham on the right hand side of the track, and that looks like Drux TV can see this fight so well in front of him. We're going to ride on board with Drux TV. He can see this 4-car fight going on ahead of him. He's going to settle down behind though, and it looked like that was Extra Pickles off the circuit ever so slightly on the exit of turn 1. That's compromised his line into turn 2, and a huge crash, and that's Matt Malone involved in that as well. Let's have a watch. It looked like car in front of him on the curb into the air, and a big hit with the wall. Latufu here in P13, right behind Turbo Snail. Right ahead of him into the White Husky, because he's just moved into P13. He's a second behind Turbo Snail. Latufu now needs to turn this race into a recovery drive. Move himself further up the order is what he's going to need. His Meckham is right behind Extra Pickles. He touches the grass, but he holds on through turn number 8. Can't place his car up the inside of turn 9. But now Extra Pickles knows that Meckham is there. He wants this. We can see, that's a wobble. That is a wobble. That is going to be a bad exit from turn number 1 for Extra Pickles. Meckham on the outside into turn 2. It's not the optimal racing line, and it could put him under attack here from Nick Bowen. Nick Bowen ties up the inside. Has to back out of it. It's going to make him a little bit slow, very possibly. But Meckham holds on to 6. As behind him, here goes Jeff Snackle. Jeff Snackle in the number 16 machine. Couldn't quite make anything there to get past the 14 of Nick Bowen. Here comes Tony Gibboni is at the inside of Turbo Snail. Is there going to be contact? They run side by side into turn number 9. And into turn 10, there is contact, and Tony Gibboni goes around, and he comes on. So a big hit there, and another huge whack as 4 cars all fall down the order as Tony Gibboni returns to pit lane as Turbo Snail and the Hernster run side by side. They briefly exchange positions, but the Hernster moves back through. Here comes Meckham. He's in P6 and can get past. Extra Pickles ahead in P5. Can he make a move? He has been following for a little bit of time now. Checkers moves past Extra Pickles for P4. That's put Extra Pickles off the racing line. And around the outside, it looked like he held it. Brilliant. Contact behind Meckham. Oh, more contact, and that's the driver off into the grass. That's Nick Bowen. And a big spin behind. What has happened to him? He's all the way down in 27th position. He's visited pit lane a number of times. He has received a meeple flag. What's happened? He's gone wide at turn number 3, Quebec corner, and a big hit. Is that Latufu? It is, without any aero. I'm going to say, I think I know why Aulatufu has not found his way up the order. He has hit the wall at some point. But this is Meckham. Again, he's still behind Extra Pickles, but now Jeff Schnackle is behind and chasing down. We ride on board with Jeff Schnackle. He looks to the inside of Meckham. They are back markers ahead. They are drivers who have had issues in this race and fallen down. Are they going to make it easy for our drivers here? That's Aulatufu, I think. Is that how far we have fallen in this race? No, that can't be. Looking at our timings on the left. Just another car without a front to his machine. Jeff Schnackle all over his rear. The back markers ahead could play into this fight. Is Schnackle going to be able to make his way past Meckham? Meckham moves to the right hand side, but he wants to go higher. He wants to get Extra Pickles, and it looks like he might do that. Less than a tenth between them. He moves to the left, a little bit of a wobble on the rear end. Look how close they are. Meckham just a tenth of a second behind Extra Pickles. Palski is cleared. No, Meckham's off! In all of that, Meckham, he was following Extra Pickles for so long. Let's have a watch there. A wobble going into turn 3. He's right behind. He gets so close and he just loses grip on the rear end. He's got the inside into turn number 8, later on the brakes, and it looked like Showtime almost just allowed him to take that move nice and easily. The biggest loser in this race is Matt Malone. He started in 10th position. He's fallen down to 31st and out of this race. There's an issue there for Checkers once more. Checkers had just returned to P3 and it is turn 5 again. Tried to get himself spun for a full 360, but a little bit earlier, this time in turn 5. It looks like Meckham has gone off. And some heavy damage for Meckham. What's happened here? The same corner he went on before. He's lost the position to Aulatufu. Aulatufu wobbles. Meckham gets scared. And he slams it into the wall. That is a real shame for Meckham. Nick Bowen moves to the right hand side. Can he get the inside of Checkers? Checkers was slightly wide out of turn 10 through turn 1. Bowen on the inside, Checkers on the outside. They're still side by side. They're going to swap over though. It's going to give Checkers the inside into turn 2. Bowen backs out. He gets back onto the racing line to try and give himself the best run here. Less than a minute on the clock. It looks like we are going to get one more lap after this race. As a round goes Checkers, and a huge accident there. The number of cars involved, including his championship contender, Nick Bowen. Nick Bowen pulls over, he's out. And here comes Matty Gwill through the final corner, from pole to the win for the second week in a row. But this time, it's by Matty Gwill, who takes the win. Slugger takes P2, followed behind by Showtime.